Hello mates, welcome to Full Stack Java Developer. I am Kiran Jadhav here. In this session, I will teach you here Spring Boot with JWT token authentication. See, we are using here Spring Boot with JWT. Spring Boot, it is a Java framework. Why it's so popular? Because of its great feature. There are features like inbuilt Tomcat server available, dev tool dependency for live load the application. Within a minute we are able to create production ready application. We don't require any XML configuration, and development impact, it goes very faster. And to secure the REST APIs, always we are using JWT token. It means JSON Web Token. Then first we'll go ahead with the theory context, and then we'll start with the implementation part. For JWT perspective, there is available official web page. You can simply type on Google Chrome jwt.io. This is the official web page available, and you can simply come up with the introduction part. See, what is JSON Web Token? JSON Web Token JWT is an open source standard RFC 7519 that defines a compact and self-contained way for securely transmitting information between the parties as a JSON object. This information can be verified and trusted because it is digitally signed. JWT can be signed using a secret with the HMAC algorithm or public-private key pair using RSA or ACDSA. Then see, when should we are going to use JWT token? If you want to do like authorization and information exchange, that time we are using JWT. Then what is the structure of JSON web-based token here? Like JWT token structure, there is available three things: header, payload and signature, and it consists, you can simply say dot separated. Then see, header, it typically consists of two parts: the type of the token, like you can simply say JWT, and the signing algorithm being used such as HMAC, SHA, 256 or RSA. Then see, payload, it consists of like registered claims, public claims, and again you can simply say private claims, like itself available, subject, username, and what is the rule available there. Now come up with the signature. Signature, it consists of header, payload and the secret key, right? It means there are three things available: header, payload and signature for each token, and putting all those together, there is available, you can simply say dot separated. Like first is header, the second is payload, and the third one is signature. And at the end we are going to decode our token as well. You will get more clarity. For that perspective, we are using here official web page for debugging our token as well. Then how it works, for that perspective we are going to implement this session from scratch. You will get more clarity. Then before going ahead, somehow I want to show you diagrammatic approach, like what is the structure and how the workflow goes. See, JWT structure, there are three things: header, payload and signature. Header itself contains like type as the JWT token, the algorithm, and payload itself available, you can simply say public claims, private claims and registered claims available there, and itself like issue at, expiration at, and name and role also we are able to add there. And signature itself contains header, payload and secret key, right? Those are the three things is very important in JWT token structure: header, payload and signature. Now come up with the next, how the flow happens. At the end also I will show you the real-time flow, but before going ahead, we'll see the theory context here, how the JWT flow goes. You can simply say client, it means end user. Either they are using mobile device, otherwise desktop or laptop, browser. Then client hitting the request, like post request, like authenticate, it means sign in request, you can simply say. It consists of username and password. This will be like request payload as well, right? Username and password, they are trying to sign in. Then this request comes at server side. Once it received at server side, then server validated the username and password, and if it's authorized, right, authenticated, then definitely it will generate the JWT token using secret key. And once this token is created, then they are giving this token to again client, return the generated JWT token at client, right? Then client, it will store at local storage, like in browser you can simply say. And then again client, as per business requirement, client want to access the one more API, right? Then client, suppose like again they are trying to access the one more API, that time get data with JWT in the header. They are just adding this token with the header, and again this request comes in server, then server side validate the JWT using secret key, and if it's valid JWT token, right, within that time itself, right, and then it will generate the response. But if it's not valid, then it will return HTTP status code 401. It means unauthorized user trying to access our APIs, right? Like such a flow happens there internally. Like this is very high level, like I given the workflow, but once we'll start with the implementation, you will get the like LLD as well. We have just seen here like HLD, it means high level design, and we are going to start with the low level design because I will implement everything from scratch. You will get more clarity. Then see, theory context perspective. I am just adding some theory part again. You can simply say in this session we are going to create this Spring Boot application. It means REST API we are going to create, and this is secure those REST APIs. You can simply say secure the REST API, secure REST API using JWT token, Then application we are going to create here for product management. Then we are going to create the product service as well, product controller as well, right? Yes. And then functionality, what are the functionality we are going to handle here? See, functionality, first functionality will go with the user like sign up. Then second, you can simply say user authenticate, it means user sign in functionality. And once user sign up is done, we are able to sign in it, right? And at the time of sign in, we are going to generate the token. Then again, next API, if user want to save some product data, right? Save product data. That time token is mandatory. Without that, we are not able to access the APIs. And again, we are trying to find all products, you can simply say. And yes, if you are able to write 2 APIs, you will be able to create thousands of APIs easily. Fine. Then whenever you are trying like save product data, find all product, then definitely we require the JWT token. And if you are not using token, it will return the HTTP status code as 401. It means unauthorized user trying to access our APIs. Then user sign up and sign in, those are the public API. Anyone they will be able to do sign up, and if they have available like username password there in database, right, they will be able to do sign in. But at the time of sign in, we are going to generate the JWT token, and those are the private APIs. Only authorized user, they are able to save the product data and they are able to find the product data. Like such an example, we are going to go ahead with the implementation part. Like this is the part of our theory context. Now we'll start with the implementation. For implementation perspective, we'll simply come up with the Chrome browser and create the Spring Boot application. Simply type here Spring Initializer, and here I am creating the Spring Boot application. The project as Maven project, the language as Java, Spring Boot latest version. The project metadata, it means information about our project. This is the base package I am giving, form.fullstack. Artifact, it means our application name I am giving here. This is Spring Boot with JWT example. Now refactor the base package. Then packaging as jar, Java version 17. Adding dependencies, we are adding DevTool for live load. Next, Lombok, it will help us to reduce the boilerplate code. We are adding Spring Wave, itself available inbuilt Tomcat server, and it will help us to create the REST APIs. Next, we are using data JPA for persistence layer. Now I am adding here MySQL database driver dependency also. We require here Spring security. You can simply say we are just going to add here Spring security. Like highly customizable authentication and access control framework for Spring application. Again, we require the Swagger and JWT dependency as well, but those are not available here. We'll add it manually later. Then simply click on generate. See, within a minute, production ready, application will be available there. We'll simply copy this application and simply add into our particular folder. In my local, I already created the folder here. Simply right click and go ahead with the extract. Once extraction is done, we'll copy the path of our application and import this option into IntelliJ IDEA. Come up with the IntelliJ, goes to file, new, project from existing sources. Here I am giving the path, Spring Boot with JWT example. Simply click on OK. This is Maven project, then trust project with new window. I want to open another window. Perfect. Then coming to form.xml file, here I am adding Swagger UI dependency. For that perspective, you can simply say Spring Doc. Yes, the Swagger UI dependency we are using here 2.8.5. I am just going to change the version here. 2.8.5 version we are adding. Yes, we have added here Swagger UI dependency. Now we require here JWT dependency. Those three dependency I am just adding from my existing application. In your case, you can simply add it from our GitHub account. Okay, in GitHub I will upload the code base. You can simply copy from there. Those are the like JWT dependency we have added here, right? JWT perspective. Now come up with the next SRC main. We have available resources. Under resources, I am creating the ML file. Simply right click on resources, new file, and the file name is application.ml. Then ML content, I am just adding it from my existing application. Yes, we have added the ML content. It means itself we have available database configurations, like we are using MySQL database, and again we are passing a secret, and the expiration time we have given a day in milliseconds. It means 24 hours we have given here. Now simply come up with the Maven and do the build. mun clean space install. Then it will take some time. Then meanwhile we'll come up with the skeleton. Simply come up with the com.fullstack base package. Right click on that, new package. The package name I am giving here entity package. Next package I am creating package name as repository package. Now come up with the new package. The package name as service package. Next package, creating the package name as config package here. We require the controller package as well. New package, package name as controller. In your case, if you want to create like big applications, you can go to validator package, exception package, whatever, right? Yes. Now come up with the entity. In entity, I am creating new Java class. This is the Java class name as user. Again, entity, we are creating Java class for product management as well. Then I am giving the Java class name as product. Now come up with the repository. There I am creating the new Java interface name as user repository. Now come up with the repo itself. We are creating new Java. This will be interface name as product repository. In service, creating new Java class as user service. Within service, we are creating one more Java class as product service. Come up with the controller, new Java class as user controller. Within controller, we are creating new Java class as product controller. Now come up with the config. In that I am creating three classes. First class I am creating here. This is JWT util. Next I am creating here JWT filter class. And the next is for security config perspective, we are just adding here security config class. Then see, our skeleton is ready and our build also success. Once build is success, simply reload the project. Here is it. Once reload is done, we'll start with the implementation part. Fine. For implementation perspective, first we'll come up with the product. Then first we handle the product APIs, whatever we have like highlighted here, right? We are going to add like save product data and find all product. Then if you want, you can add number of functionality, number of APIs. For time being, I am just going to focus on save the product data and find all the product data. Then simply come up with the product, use @data. This is Lambo connotation, itself like replaceable with getter, setter and toString. It will help us to reduce boilerplate code. Next, using @all constructor, it means this is parameterized constructor. Nor constructor, it means this is default constructor. Entity, it means this is the entity class, and we are giving the here table, the table name as product. Now we are using here @id, it means this is primary key. @generated value, it means this primary key will be auto increment, and strategy I am giving identity because we are using here MySQL as a database. Now using private int, this will be product have ID. Next, private string, product have name, private double, product have price, private I am using here date, and you can simply say product have launch date. Then date format, we are just using here JSON format, and the pattern we are following here like as per India time standard DDMMYYY. Done. Such a way we done with the entity layer for product. This is our Pojo class. Now come up with the product repository, annotate with @repository annotation. Then simply use here extends JPA repo, and we are passing Pojo class name as a product, and the corresponding we are passing as a wrapper class as well integer. Now come up with the product service, annotate with @service annotation there, and here we are using @autovoid because we are not creating the object by the new keyword. We are just using here @autovoid, and this will be private product repository. This is the reference you can simply consider. And first method I am writing here public. This will be like you can say product, and we are going to save the product data. Then I am passing entity as a product. Simply do return product repository dot save, and we are trying to save data for product. Next, this will be public. We are trying to fetch list of product information. That's why I am passing here list of product, and you can simply say this is find all. Now simply use return. This will be product repository dot find all. Control A, Alt Control L, it will format the code base as well. Now come up with the product controller, annotate with @rest controller, @request mapping, and here itself I am passing products. Now using @autovoid here, this will be private product service. Then API creation here, like this is post mapping. We are just going to say the API name as save, and we are using here public. This will be response entity. It will be type of product, and the method also we are giving save. We are passing here request body. It means request payload we are going to pass from Postman as Swagger. In upcoming sessions we are going to learn React. Then that time we are passing this request payload from form itself for our product. Now you can simply say here we are passing the request body for product. Then simply to return, this will be response entity dot OK, product service dot, you can simply call here product service dot save method available there. Now coming to next is get mapping, and here I am passing this is find all. Simply use public. This will be response entity. We are passing here list. It will be type of our product, and simply say find all. It will fetch all data, right? Do return response entity dot OK, product service dot find all. It will fetch all data. Do Control A, Alt Control L. It will format the code base. Such a way we done with the product service. You can simply select save the product data and find all the product information within 10 minutes. Now we'll come up with the user perspective. Then simply come up with user.java, and here annotating with @data, add aller constructor, add nor constructor. We are using @entity, add table, and the table name I am passing here user. Now using @id, it means this is primary key. @generated value, it means this will be auto increment. This will be private int user have id. Now we are using here private. This will be string user have name. Private string user have password. Now come up with the user repository, annotate with @repository annotation, and here we are using extends JPA repository. I am passing here, this is the like Pojo class user, and the corresponding wrapper class we are passing as a integer, and the custom method we are going to create here. This is the custom method here, user. You can simply say find by user name. We are following here solid principle, like some naming convention you need to follow. String user name. Naming convention, it means like if you are working with the data JPA, the method start with find by. F must be lowercase, by intermediate letter must be capital, and this is your variable name username, right? But if it's like method, then definitely intermediate letter we are giving as a capital. Perfect. and this username we are expecting unique. That's why I'm just coming back to here and using column annotation, and in that we are passing unique equal to true, because we are not expecting the duplicate user there. That's why we are just passing here unique equal to true in user.java. Okay, like this will be unique. Now come up with the next user service, then annotate with service annotation. Then we are just using here implements user detail service. This is the, like, you can simply say, interface coming from Spring Security, and itself available method load user by username. We need to override it. See, here is it, load user by username. We have override the method. Override it means whatever replica in parent, same replica we are implementing in child class. Now we are using @void private. This will be the repository. Next, whenever we are trying to save data for user, that time we are going to encrypt the password as well by using Spring Security algorithm. There is available algorithm named as bcrypt algorithm. For that perspective, I am using @void, and this will be private. You can simply say password encoder. Then here method we are going to write public. This is the user data we are trying to save. It means you can simply say SignUp. For user perspective, we'll say this will be SignUp actually. Then this is user. I'm just doing Control Z. Yeah, this is user. You can simply say. Now we are just going to call here user dot set password, and we are calling here password encoder dot encode user dot get password, and then simply to return, this will be user repository dot save method available inbuilt there. We are just going to call user here. It means it will just encrypt the, like, we are getting the user password actually from our, you can simply say, API side, and then by using password encoder dot encode, it will encrypt the password, and we are going to set into database actually. And this encrypted password we are going to again return it, like enter information of user we are trying to fetch it. It means user have ID, username and password, right? Yes. Coming to next is load user by username. For that perspective, we are just going to fetch the data here for user. You can say user equal to user repository dot, there is method already we have created, like this is custom method find by username, and I am giving the input also username here. Next, instead of returning null, simply return here this is new user, and then we are calling here, this is, you can simply consider here user dot get username as input, comma separated user dot get password. And to handle the compilation issues, we are just going to add here new array list. See, now everything is done for user service, whatever class we have created, right? And this is the way, like, we are just like load user by username implementation here. And for that perspective, we are giving the input as username, and here again just like return new, and we are calling this is Spring Security user here. If you are going to check, this user coming from Spring Security, and for that we are giving the input here, this will be like username and password corresponding. Now come up with the next is we have available config package, and in config package we have available 3 classes there, right? Yes, those are the 3 classes available: JWT filter, util and security config. Then instead of typing it manually, I will do one thing, I will just add it from my local. Then first we'll go to the JWT filter. I'm just going to add it as it is here, and I will explain everything in detail. You will get the clarity. This is JWT util. In security config, you will be able to see what are the public APIs, private APIs. Those are the important part for us. Yeah. Now we'll come up with the user controller. I'm just going to like maximize the screen. Yes, this is our user controller. Annotate with REST controller at request mapping, and here we are just giving / as auth. This is our, you can simply say, base URI. Now we are using here @auto_void. This will be private. You can simply say user have service. Next, @auto_void. We are adding here private. This will be JWT util. Next, @auto_void. This will be private. You can simply say authentication manager. We are just going to add here. Then first API we are just going to write here for sign up perspective. This will be public, like response entity we are just going to add here, and this is, you can simply say, user, and the method itself we are giving sign up. In that I am passing here, this is the request body for user. Now simply to return, this will be response entity dot OK. We are calling here user service dot sign up functionality and passing the input as user. Now come up with the next. The next, where here sign up is done successfully, right? Because end-to-end layer we handle for sign up perspective. Then see, now we are just trying for sign in perspective. It means authenticate the user. Then again I am passing here post mapping, and there we are giving the API name as sign in. If you want authenticate, you can give the authenticate as well, but good naming convention I am giving here sign in. Then this will be public. This will be like response entity, you can simply consider. Type it will be string, because here we are going to generate the token, and whatever token is generated, we are just trying to return this token as a string format. Then simply say here generate token, and corresponding like request body we are going to pass here for user. Now we are calling here, this is authentication manager dot authenticate new username password authentication token, and for that we are giving the input as user dot get username, and again we are passing user dot get user password ending with semicolon. Next, simple to return, this will be response entity dot OK, and we are just going to call here JWT util dot generate token, and input we are giving here user dot get username. Such a way we handle the like coding practices from controller layer. Perfect. Then see, now we'll come up with the our Spring security config class and filter and util. See, security config, once you are coming here, then definitely you are able to see like annotation @ configuration enable web security as well. This is our security config class available here, right? Yes. And here again we have used like bcrypt algorithm for like password encryption perspective, and if you are coming with the that password encoder, you will get the more clarity there. Fine. Yes, in detail here. Here is available implementation as well. Like if you want to check the encode how like internally works, then you can simply click on implementation. You will get the more clarity. Perfect. Yes. Next, here like we are using user detail service. This user detail service, it means this is the Spring security, you can simply say interface available there, right? And this is the like, once you are just coming back to here, return new user service. New user service, it means whatever class we have created, we have implemented here, right? Yes. Then again coming to back, here we have important thing like filter chain method available there, and itself we are able to give like whatever like public APIs and private API. For that perspective, we have added here like you can simply say auth request dot request matchers. Then whatever you are able to see permit all, those are the public API. It means anyone, they will be able to access those APIs like Swagger and auth. Auth, it means you can simply say we have given in user controller auth, right? Like anyone, they will be able to do sign up, and if they have available sign up like data available in database, right, then definitely they are able to do sign in as well. If it's not match, it will return the 401 like unauthorized user trying to access the APIs. Perfect. Then this is the like code base. It's important in this JWT session, like which is the public API and what are the private API. Rather than that, all the APIs, any request, it should go ahead with the authenticated. Fine. Perfect. Then coming to next, here in JWT filter, see here I added some log as well, even I added some comments as well for your understanding perspective. Okay, see here JWT filter extends which class? Once per request filter, and filter, it's taking care of validate the JWT token. For that perspective, like every protected endpoints required the header with authorization bearer token, right? And definitely like here this once per request filter, it means JWT side, JWT request filter, it will validate the token. For that perspective, this is the like method do filter internal. This method coming from once per request filter only. Like overall, it means whatever applicant parent, same we are just going to implement in our child, right? and there we have given here authorization as well as a bearer token. You can simply consider here, right? Yes, and itself it includes the 7, as you can simply say, character. There we are going to expect. Perfect. And if anyway if it goes to failure, right, then definitely corresponding log I just added here for your understanding perspective. Perfect. Yes, you can simply check those. Now we'll come up with the JWT util. See, JWT util, like this is the class we have used here, and then where the secret comes, the secret we are using @value annotation. It means you can simply say we are reading this data from properties. We have available here YAML file. Then @value, it will help us to read data from YAML file, and there is available JWT.secret. And by using this $sign, we are able to fetch this data. If you want to check, I will show you here. Simply come with the YAML file. See, there is available JWT.secret. See, here is it. Like we are using colon separated here, right? Yes, this, like by using @value, we are able to read this data there. Now again coming back to there in JWT util, we have available JWT expiration as well. Like we are able to set the token expiration time also, and here we have given as a 24 hours in milliseconds. You can simply say. Again, this value we are reading from YAML file because of @value annotation. If you want to check, see, JWT expiration available there also. See, here is it. JWT expiration. We have given a day in milliseconds. It means 24 hours, right? Yes. Now again coming back to JWT util, like here is the key generation parts, and we are using algorithm here base 64. You can simply say, right? On the basis of this key, we are able to decode it. Next, pass the JWT token. This method will give the exact username here. Coming to next, here this method like extract the expiration. It means pass the JWT token. This method will give the expiration date, a time you can simply consider, right? Yes. And again extract the claims. This method providing the claims for us. Okay. Coming to next, extract all claims. For getting any data from the token secret, key will be required there. Then here we are able to check like is token expired or not. For that perspective, the method available is token expired, and we are passing there our input, as you can simply say, like token we are just giving here, and we are just comparing with data as well, right? Yes. And for generate the token, we have available here this method generate token method here, right? Yeah. And again you can simply say create the token. How like token goes to create? For that perspective, we have implemented build a different pattern here, and we are going to set the claims, set the subject as well, and then again issue at what is the issue time, what is the expiration time, and again like we are passing there, you can simply consider signature algorithm as well as a HS256 here. And again next method we have available here, validate the token. For that perspective, we are just giving here input as a token, and corresponding we are just going to compare those, and if it's valid then definitely it will return true, else it will return the false. Then important thing here, like whatever we are able to see in security config class, like the public API and private API. If you want to add any public API, then you can simply say here permit all, right? Here we have given the Swagger UI and the auth, those are the permit all, and rather than any request, it should go ahead with the authenticated. Perfect. Then now we'll simply come back to here Maven and simply do clean space install. We are expecting our build goes to success, and once build is success, we'll go ahead and run our application here. See, we are just waiting to see the build success message. And first we'll test the API through Postman API, and then we'll come up with the Swagger UI as well. See, build is success. See, I just highlighted the build success message here. Perfect. Build is success. Once build is success, simply reload the project, and once it reload is done, then simply come up with the like our main class. Here is it. There is available address Spring Boot application, right? And simply start the application here. We are just going to run our Spring Boot application here, and now whatever private APIs, those all are the secure here by using JWT token. If you are not passing the token, you are not able to test those APIs. Public API sign up and sign in, you are able to access it, but whatever product APIs, we need the token for that. Then see, application is started, the port number is 8080. Yes, now we are good to go ahead. Then see, here I am just passing for, already I created the like API URL here, localhost:8080 auth sign up, and this data like username we are passing Sora, and the password we are passing Swara@2025. Simply send the request. It will save data, and yes, data also you are able to see. Next, I am just passing here Kiran, and the password I am passing Kiran@2025. Hit the request. The second number record also created successfully here, right? Perfect. Then now sign up done successfully. If you want to check data in database, you can simply use the product DB as a database name, and then simply go ahead and select start from user. You will be able to see the information there is available to user. One is Swara, second is Kiran, and the password also available in encrypted format by using which algorithm? Bcrypt algorithm in Spring Security. Now come up with the next. Next we are just trying to generate the token. Then I am passing here Swara and the correct password Swara@2025. It will generate the token there, right? See, token also generated successfully. Here is the token. Perfect. Yes. If you want to pass somehow another username, you can pass. And if you are passing incorrect data, then token not goes to generate there. Now our token is created. Then we'll come up with the next request. We are just trying to save data into database for product. If you are coming here, now in product there is not available any single data, right? But once we are hitting the request, then definitely we are expecting 401 HTTP status code. See, here is 401. 401 it means unauthorized. It means like unauthorized user, they are trying to access our API. For that perspective, you need to come up with the authorization, and then here you can simply select the bearer token, and the token we need to pass here. I just copied this token and just going to paste it here. Now you can simply hit the API. It will save data into database within seconds, and the response also we are getting. See one screen. Here is the response, Apple phone, right? One more. I am just trying to change the request payload here. I am just passing here. This is, you can simply consider as like Sony Smart TV. Perfect. And here I am changing the price as well, and the date I am just passing here. Yeah, launch date. Now hit the request. Data inserted successfully. Perfect. But if you are not passing here authorization token, then definitely it will give us 401. It means unauthorized user, they are trying to access our APIs. Now come up with the next. Next is, we are just trying here find all. Then I am not passing any token. We are expecting 401. See one screen. Here is it 401. But once we are just passing here authorization token as bearer token, and the token we are going to paste it here, then definitely we are expecting 2 records available there in database, right? Select start from product. Those 2 records we are expecting. Product launch date is not coming there. The reason behind that, we need to check it. See, product launch date, right? Yes, we'll check it. What is the spell? What is the variable we have given in product launch date? Okay, here is it. Same date, you can simply copy the spell and simply pass here in body. Then definitely if you are passing correct, it will be inserted into database. I am just changing here. This is HP laptop, you can simply say. There will be some type of mistake sometimes, okay, no worries. I am just giving here, this is HP laptop as 65,000 price 0.96, right? Simply hit the request. Yes, data is inserted there. Fine. Why it goes null? Because somehow type of mistake there, that's why it goes to null. Then you can simply give the same variable name here. It will goes to work. In Swagger it will take care of on behalf of you, but in Postman API you need to write it manually. Perfect. Now how many records are available there? 3 records are available there. Perfect. Then we are just trying to test it by using find all. Then we have already given the token here and simply send. It will fetch the 3 data. See one screen. 1, 2 and 3 records available there, right? Perfect. Then those we handle in Postman API. Now we'll come up with the Swagger. Then Swagger perspective, there are 2 changes we need to do. Then first change, you can simply come up with the Spring Boot with our it means you can simply say main class, main method you can simply come up with here. But before doing any change, we'll enable the dev tool. For that perspective, we'll simply come up with the settings, Maven settings, then come up with the compiler, and there is available build process automatically. Simply click on apply and OK. But if you are using dev tool first time, then you can come up with the advanced setting. There also you need to check here allow automake to start even if develop application is currently running. In my case it's already checked, that's why I'm just going to click on OK. Perfect. Then here we are just going to add one-liner code. I will just add it from my existing application here, and we'll do the changes as per our business requirement. Okay. Now we are just coming to here, and this is, you can simply say security scheme coming from Swagger itself. For Swagger perspective, we are doing the changes here. This is mandatory step, okay, for all. Now come up with the security scheme in as well. Yes, we have done the changes for our main class main method here, like we have used the security scheme. Now we need to do the similar change in our user controller, product controller as well. Then simply come up with the product controller here. Yes, and here you can simply use @security requirements. Yeah, security requirement you can simply add here. This is name as bearer auth. Yes, we have done the changes for Swagger UI, but the two changes were required. Which two changes? In main class main method you can simply use the security scheme annotation, and there you can simply pass the required things here. And next change, come up with the product controller. We have just added the security requirements here, bearer auth. Once it's done, then again you can simply come up with the Chrome browser and simply hit here localhost 8080 swagger-ui.html. We are expecting it will go to up and running, and once it up and running, you will be able to see here authorize, like there is available log symbol, right? This is the first time like you are able to see, because somehow past days we are expecting here to see like such a things here, right? Yes, then definitely we are able to see here. Now we'll simply try to test it. For that perspective, come up with the post. You can simply say try it out, and here I am just passing the username. We are just trying to sign up here, right? For that perspective, I am just passing here Lakshmi, and the password I am passing here Lakshmi @ you can simply say 2025. See, data is saved successfully there, right? Now we are just going to generate the token. Then you can simply use here auth sign in, try it out, execute. See, the token also created there successfully. See, here is the token, right? Yes. And here one more thing, like once you refresh your Swagger UI, right, again you need to generate the token. Fine? Yes. See, I am just going to show you here UI.html. We are just going to, yes, see, just refresh it, right? Yes. Now there is available product controller as well. But now if you want to like test those APIs, the previous token not goes to work here. If you like refresh your like Swagger, right, then definitely you need to generate the token again. Then we'll simply do the sign in. I will try it out, and I am passing here, this is the data for Lakshmi, right, username and password. Just execute. Token is generated successfully. Simply copy the token. Now we'll come up with the here again authorize. But before authorize, I want to show you how to test this products find all, right? Try it out, execute. It will give us 401. See one screen 401. It means unauthorized user trying to access our API. Then how we are saying this is authorized user? Simply click on authorize. This is the log button symbol available here, right? Click on authorize, simply pass the token here, click on authorize again, and just click on close. And now test the API, simply click on execute. There is available 3 records. Now I want to do save the data for product. ID is auto incremented. Product name I'm just passing here. You can simply say this is like Lenovo laptop we are giving here. Then product price I'm just adding here, this is like 95,000.99, and the date we are passing DDMMYY format. Here I am passing, this is, you can simply say 11/11/2025. Oh, but this goes future dated, right? We'll go 2024. No worries. Simply execute. See, data inserted 4th number record, right? Again, if you want to add one more record here, I am just adding here. This is Apple laptop we are giving here, and simply pass like the price as we are passing here. This is 2,50,000. And the date I am passing here 2020. Simply execute. Data is inserted there, right? Perfect. But if you are going to refresh it, see, now again one more time I will show you. Like find all, we are able to fetch all the 5 records. But you can simply say this is refresh now. Swagger UI is refresh here. And if you are trying to access again this API, right? Try it out, find all. It will redirect 401. Like this is the drawback in Swagger. If it's refresh, then definitely you need to add your token again. For that perspective, you need to generate the token. Simply sign in, try it out, and simply pass here what is the username and password there, right? I'm just passing here Swara, and the password I'm passing Swara@2025. Execute it. Token goes to generate. Once token is generated, then copy this token and simply come back to authorize. Simply paste the token here and then click on authorize. Close it and simply try to test the API for find all. It will fetch all the data whatever available there. There are available 5 records in database. All the records we are able to see on screen directly here on browser itself, right? Like such a way we handle here JWT token from scratch. Like those are the APIs whatever I committed at the time of start the application, right? Functionality like user sign up we have handled, user sign in as well, and the save product data and find all the product information like find all. Then you have time available, you can simply go ahead and create like number of APIs. I'm not going to recommend only 2-3 APIs. You can create like your project also. You can use the similar approach. You will be able to handle your like project without any issues. Perfect. Yes. And now come up with the explanation part, like how this token work internally. For that perspective we have available, this is the perfect diagram here, like client hitting the request, like post you can simply say authenticate request, itself available username and password. How it goes to hit, you can simply check here. We have available user controller here, right? Then client, it means end user. Initially they are done with the sign up, right? Then they have available username password for that. Then they just passing here sign in request, itself available username password. User, you will be able to see username available, user password also available there, right? Yes. Then once they are hitting the request, then definitely this request comes where? This request comes on server side, right? And server validate the username and password and generate the token using JWT secret, you can simply say secret key. See, here is it. Like here they are going to validate this username password here, and once it's valid, then definitely they are going to generate the token in JWT util class. Here is mechanism available to generate the token, like create token we are calling here this method, right? Yes. Like this is the code, like it will create the token, and once it created, it will return in which format? String type of format. It means here is the output, like we are getting on post as well. Like this is the token available, like dot separated. This is header, you can simply say this is like payload, and this is signature available there. Perfect. Then this is the first flow, and if you are not passing the valid credentials, then definitely it will give us a negative response like 401 unauthorized user trying to access your APIs. But if you are passing valid credentials, then it will generate the token, and this token they are going to send to client actually. And client, it means they are using browser there actually. Now we are just using API testing as Postman as Swagger, but real time we are going to use React.js, and there will be available like form, you can simply say, like web page available there. And in web page have capability to store like this token in local storage as well, session storage, you can simply say, right? Then this token will be stored in client side, and again client hitting the new request. Then that time client sending like this request with this JWT token as well, right, in the header. And again it comes at server side, server goes to validate this JWT using secret key, and if it's valid token, then and then server giving the positive response. If it's not valid token, it will give us the 401. Then now we'll come up with the real-time example in banking sector. We'll simply consider here ICICI Bank. Even if you are going to check like Government of India, there is available DigiLocker, right? They also using the JWT token. If you want to check it, you can simply go with the DigiLocker, just do the sign in. Once you are doing sign in, do Control Shift I, and there is available application tab. In application tab, you can simply check your session, right? Yeah. And once you are going to check it local storage, there will be available token. It means subsequent request do not need to again pass the username password. By using this JWT token, we are able to access all the APIs. Now come up with our real-time banking example here. We'll consider about ICICI Bank. See, in ICICI Bank, like initially they are giving username password to customer, then customer trying to sign in, they are just passing the username password. If it's valid, then ICICI Bank side there is available server, they are going to validate the username and password. If it's valid, they are going to generate the token, and once token is generated, then it sends to again client like client side there is available browser. It will be stored in local storage, and whenever subsequent request comes, like initially they are just trying to like log in, and second time they are trying to check account balance, and again they want to transfer funds. That time customer not need to enter the username password, they just sending the token, and again it comes at ICICI Bank side, they just going to validate the token. If it's valid, then they are allowing to access those API for that particular customer, right? It means client, you can simply say, and client able to handle this transaction successfully. Like this is the like end-to-end flow for JWT token we handle in our application as well. And similar, all the corporates, they are following the similar type of JWT token authentication mechanism, right? And if you want to check in detail for that perspective, we have available jwt.io. This is the official web page. Here you can simply go to the theory part actually. And one more thing, I will add this theory in our description box as well. You can simply follow this theory also. You will get more clarity. And practical perspective, you can simply follow our session. You will get more clarity in detail understanding. Fine. Now come up with the next part is we are just trying to debug our token. Then whatever token we have created here, right? We have created token for Sora, right? Then we'll simply copy it and coming back to here, simply pass it here. See, you will be able to see the Sora name here directly on screen. Perfect. Previously there is not available Sora, there is available John Doe. This is just example. But if I am passing our token, we are able to see here Sora. See on screen. Perfect. It means like JWT is open source. You can feel free to use it. You will get the more clarity, and itself available. You can simply say like header, payload and signature here, right? You can simply verify it. Header, we are able to see the algorithm, right, and type it JWT. And the payload, you can simply say we have available like subject as username, issue at, expiration at as well available there. And again signature itself available, header, payload, and you can simply say secret key, right? Yes. Due to some security constraint, they are not showing the signature here perfect. But anyway, I hope you got the clarity like the header, payload and signature here, right? Yes. And more details, even JWT side, they have already created here. You can simply say intro part. You can simply go ahead, and if you want to check this handbook, you can simply go to the JWT handbook as well. And I will recommend our session. You can simply, if whenever like newcomers they want to learn like JWT in detail, you can simply share our session with those. They will be able to understand the JWT from scratch. And now I'm adding this code base on GitHub directly. We'll simply come up with the full stack, and I'm just going to add here GitHub. We are just coming with the new repo, and the repo name I'm giving here, this is Spring Boot with JWT example. Yes. Now description I'm giving here Spring Boot with JWT example. Now this is the public I am adding here because anyone they will be able to access the repository. That's why add a readme file as well and create the repo. Our repo is created successfully. We'll simply go ahead and clone the repo in local. How to clone? Simply copy the like this URL, and the next step we need to come up with the local here. And here I am just creating new folder. This is my git repo folder, and we'll simply add the cmd. It will open the command prompt. Trying to clone it, git clone. Simply pass the URL, then use cdtf. Now I am just adding the code base into our repository folder, and in readme file I just want to add some theory part as well. That's why I'm just going to open it in Notepad++ and adding some theory part here. Okay, whatever theory we learned in this session, right? Yes, we learned those theory part here, like what is JWT token, what it consists of, 3 things, right? Yes. And the one more thing I want to add corresponding to our application as well, whatever we learned here, right? Yes. Then those data also I'm adding here for your information. Okay. Yes. And this is very edge session we followed here. Now the backup file I will delete it and commit the changes on centralized repository. Git add dot, it will add all the files. Git commit -m, this is the message I am giving, initial commit, and then git push. Perfect. Now all the like code base available in centralized repository. You can simply follow this repository. If you want to like clone in your local, you can simply go ahead and download the zip. Like those who are like freshers, they can simply download the zip extract and you will be able to see. And if you want to clone in your local, simply click on code and you can simply clone this URL. And if you want to check the code base, if you are checking the sessions and simultaneously are doing practices, then you can simply come up with here, and one by one class you are also able to open it here. Suppose if you want to check like our user controller, right, simply come up with the controller and simply check here user controller. See, there is available our code base, right? Like such a way you can go ahead and do the hands-on practices for that. And this entire repository layer URL I will add in YouTube video description box. You can simply follow it. You will be able to handle your first like secure the REST API by using JWT token. And the diagrammatic flow, please keep in mind, because interview perspective they are going to ask the questions on that as well, right? And whatever public API and private API, one more time I will highlight, because this is the very important topic actually. Once you understand what is the public and private API, you will be able to handle number of APIs here. See, whenever you are able to see permit all, it means those are the public API. If you want to add here one more controller, and if you want to say this is public, you can simply mention here request matches and then give the permit all, fine. And rather than that, any request it goes ahead with the authenticated, it means you can simply say those are the private API. This is the very important topics in JWT session, fine. Like you are able to see like what are the public APIs and what are those private APIs here. Perfect. Yes. Then if you are facing any difficulties in Spring Boot with JWT token, feel free to add your comment in comment box. I am happy to help you for that actually to get it resolved. And thanks for watching this video. Please do like, share, subscribe the channel to get more updates. And definitely upcoming sessions I will take deep dive into Spring Boot, then backend JWT token we are going to implement there, and the front end React.js. Then you will get the real-time clarity like how client side we are going to manage the JWT token. Then upcoming sessions definitely I will deep dive into such a full stack applications. Then stay tuned with the Full Stack Java Developer YouTube channel, and see you in next video.